I started a sugar-free what I eat in a day 7-day challenge. This is day 1. I'll also be sharing into my life as well. For breakfast, I'm using my farm fresh eggs and using olive oil, cooking spray to fry my eggs in, as well as preparing some boiled eggs for later for my daughter. I always like to have extra as well. I'm using it's an everything bagel seasoning, as well as some Korean pepper and salt and pepper in this dish as well, and sauteing the kale and then adding the fried egg on the side, as well as some more salt and pepper, and then I add some real bacon bits to that as well. To me, that adds a lot of flavor and takes care of that bacon craving, as well as Tabasco sauce for that. And I ended up putting way too much Korean pepper in, so I spilled the bottle basically, so I had to replate it, so you'll see me doing that later. And then I use this skim-free Fairlife milk, which has no sugar added to it. And here's my plate, and I'm having some cantaloupe as well, which is the only sugar I'm having. And now I'll be showing my lunch, which is the quinoa chili dish. But first of all, I am showing how I boil the egg, or how I peel boiled eggs. And that will be added to my daughter's dish. She only likes to eat the egg whites, so I end up peeling quite a few just for her to have as many egg whites as she wants. And there's her plate, and she ended up eating everything except a few almonds. And here I am boiling a boil in a bag quinoa, which creates about 3 servings of quinoa, as well as in this dish there's a can of white beans, a can of green chilies, some salsa, better than bouillon, a little bit of corn. Saute that up and plate it with some cilantro. And it was delicious, and I have 2 more meals to eat from that. And then for a pick-me-up, I like to use my cold, pretty much just like iced coffee with my Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee, which gives definitely a boost in immunity and energy levels. And then I definitely have to take a little bit of time for some yoga after this, getting distracted with Zuko, but it adds to the self-care of the moment. So definitely enjoyed a little bit of time doing that in my vintage inspired room, which here leads into my vintage inspiration of the day, which is my knockoff Marilyn Monroe blue polka dot dress, which I am modeling with a filter and wig here. And then for dinner, I made basically a sheet pan chicken dish, which had different vegetables. You can basically just put anything in your fridge that you're needing to use up, which is basically what I did. A lot of just cut-offs of things that I already had. And then basically what I end up doing is I'll season it with Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and olive oil. Salt, pepper is basically all that it is to it with this. So yeah, I just chop everything up, arrange it kind of just so I know like what all I have here. And like I said, like I like to put some of my vegetables into jars, keeps them fresher, or put them in like a plastic bag with some paper towel. With the mushrooms, I had taken them out of the container, put them in a loosely closed plastic bag. One of those just like little sandwich ones seemed to keep them pretty well. And then I had 2 fillets of chicken breasts, which I cut up and put in about probably 15 to 20 multicolored cherry tomatoes, slitting a hole in so they don't burst in the oven. I like to use pink sea salt for my seasoning and fresh cracked pepper anytime I use the salt and pepper to season anything. So that's what I'm doing here, just seasoning everything up really good. And then I'm going to be mixing everything up here in a second with some tongs. And in between, whenever you are mixing or especially handling chicken, just make sure that you're not like contacting the raw chicken to anything you don't want it to be on. and continually washing any utensils that you are using the raw chicken with. So here I am mixing everything together, getting it all mixed up, and then adding it into the oven, convection oven at 365 degrees, I believe. And then you can check on it and stir it around every once in a while. And then whenever it is done, you will take it out, which is, and well, actually, one other thing that I did was I made some pasta, not for me, but I made it for my family. I just was showing that there, and then I add just about a quarter cup or so of pasta sauce to it to add a little bit of flavor. And I just had the vegetables and chicken, and for dessert I had plain Greek yogurt with frozen fruit, and then the daily bring the scraps to the chickens, and Sydney did that today, our eggs of the day, and feeding the outside fish, and then ending the day with some herbal tea. Here are my nutritional facts for the day. I am not recording calories, but I will show this every day to record that I am under my sugar limits for the day.